Knick of
Oh,
Time Show. Go check out that show. It's a great show. It's a great show.
York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
Frustrated, disappointed, pissed. Some of the words to describe this game today watching it. Knicks versus 76ers. This is JLS from Knick Of Time Show. Knicks lost 3 in a row to the 76ers. They just lost to 76ers 130 to 119. We are a 500 team since the NBA Cup. It seems like the Knicks have lost their way defensively. The clutch shot gene has escaped us, and we're going to talk about it all. And this is a game where I really wanted, and I felt like the Knicks might have won it because you're playing a 76ers team who just beat us about a week ago. So you're thinking we're looking for revenge, but 76ers came to try to prove a point, and we didn't answer it back. So we're going to talk about it, though. We will. Before we talk about it, I'm going to introduce you to our people. First and foremost, it is the Latin assassin, ESPN contributor, posting and toasting contributor, Bleacher Report contributor. The Escobedo was good.
Nothing's good. This is the worst basketball Knicks have played year and a half, 2 years. It's the worst defense I've seen in 5 years, and that's saying a lot because there's been some stretches of horrible defense. But collectively, the last 3 games, especially the back-to-backs, absolutely unacceptable. So I'm looking forward to tearing them down and tearing it apart and getting to the bottom of it.
Yeah, a lot of things went wrong today, and we're going to talk about it all. And, of course, you already know it is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan Gene. Yeah, it's been a terrible run of game for the Knicks. But I do think that after the NBA Cup, the schedule has not been kind to the Knicks from the standpoint of you play if you want to call it championship level game, playoff level game, whatever you want to call it, game of the NBA Cup, and then afterwards you hop right back into the schedule. You don't have more than 1 day off between any game after that game, and you have 2 back-to-backs also within that same time period. So I also think that the NBA didn't give the Knicks enough time to rest and recover after that game that was very taxing on the team. And I think that's contributing to the bad run that they've had since the NBA Cup. And I do think that the team is maybe a little bit tired at the moment and they need a bit of refreshing.
Interesting point. Interesting. I did see somebody actually mention something like that in our comment section about maybe the team is tired. It's absolutely something to consider. The team may be tired at this point and searching. And when we're down players, maybe that's something we have to consider going through this run. But it's like it's interesting because the Knicks, we've only been on 3-game losing streaks for the last few years. We're playing the Pistons next on Monday, so like we have not lost 4 in a row in I think 3 seasons. So and this is a tough Pistons team. I know they're gonna be tough. We have to get up for this game, and hopefully we do pull it together. But let me get into this game now. Defensively, I already know Lee's gonna have a lot to say about this game defensively. But defensively, to me, I feel like I don't know whether I should be mad at the players or the coach. Tyrese Maxey is a special player. He is very fast. He can shoot threes. He can play make. He is a blur out there. When he starts to hit those deep threes, he's very hard to contain. But for the life of me, when I was watching the game and I'm watching McBride get screened or Brunson get screened or whoever getting screened, and I see no help from the big, whether it be Towns or even like a guard. Like there was a time when it was like I felt like it was OG was guarding. It was like an OG McBride screen, and McBride didn't even come up to the level or try to blitz. Like So I'm just like, to me, schematically, it just seemed all wrong, and we didn't start to hit the right birth button schematically into the fourth quarter when we actually started to guard above the level. And I was kind of pulling my hair out, thinking, why did we wait until 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter to actually go above the 3-point line when Maxey is draining deep three after deep three after deep three, which is why I'm saying I feel like I might be more mad at the coaching staff than the Knicks for the failed adjustments. Because like I watched basketball, I played ball when I was a kid on summer league teams and stuff like that. Nothing crazy like I've been in high school. But I'm watching this game, and even me looking at this game is going, you gotta step up on Maxey. Like, you can't just drop back on the three, and when he hit 3 in a row, it's like, this time he's gonna drop. No, he's pulling up a 3 again. He's pulling, it's like, do something different. Call something different. Don't wait till 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter to actually start to blitz it. And that's when we started making turnovers. This is when we started to make them think. Like, why didn't we do that? Why didn't we involve Joel Embiid's slow ass in pick and rolls all night? He can't move side to side. We got Cat, one of the best big men in the game, who can stretch you out. We have Brunson. We could have easily pick and rolled them high screen pick and roll with Embiid and take advantage of his slow footedness. I just feel like the coaching staff failed us today. What are you thinking, Lee? I'm mad at the players. I know it's a back-to-back thing, but I just feel like the coaching staff was like, yo, what the hell, bro?
I was smiling and laughing while you were talking because that was the crux of my argument with starting at the level, is what I was going to start my monologue with. And this is what the third game in a row where I feel like we're seeing the same things and we're kind of on the same wavelength of what we're getting pissed at while we're watching the game. And all of us were quiet in the group chat. None of us were sharing schematics. And it's interesting that we both saw the same thing, because we allowed not just Maxey, but Edstrom to get hot from 3, which broke our back. And again, after what I said last podcast, we're starting at a deficit. We're trying to crawl our way back from a 10, 15 point deficit. And more than that, I didn't understand the defensive coverages. I didn't understand even the game plan beyond just you, I think, hit on the great micro schematics, but even macro. Like, what was the assignment? Why was Tower Tola coming in the game and immediately going under screens on Maxey and under screens on Edstrom? Is that a coaching decision? Because by that time, he already spent both of them spent the first quarter torturing us. Right. So why wasn't an adjustment being made on how to navigate that? Or why wasn't OG put on Maxey? So when the OG's on Maxey, then if he needs to, he can switch and be on Embiid and pick and roll instead of Cat getting being pick and roll and then absolutely demolished by Joel Embiid when he doesn't have to go lateral, but just downhill. That's where Embiid is still highly effective. And tonight he was effective as a scorer and as a playmaker, getting downhill and pick and roll. Find those shooters. They did a great job of relocating to that left corner. Edstrom, Maxey, Grimes, all of them hitting threes from that area. Mm-hmm. There was no adjustment, again, until the fourth quarter. Why are we continuing going to a 2-3 zone instead of really addressing the need for the point of attack defense and putting our best point of attack defender based on matchup on the point guard? When you don't rely on zone, that 2-3 zone that we're running, it's not even effective. We might be the worst team in NBA playing zone.
Yeah.
First of all, we use it inconsistently, and second, we use it when the personnel out there isn't good at it. It's when Cat and Dursan Yabusele are on the floor sharing the front court together. That's when we decide to go into zone. Those are two guys that can't close out on shooters. So if you don't pat the paint and build a wall, and then they start getting hot from 3, you got to have some personnel out there that has a foot speed, get out and crash out on a shooter, run them off the 3-point line. You can't do that when Cat and Yabusele are part of his zone defense. Those decisions didn't make any sense to me. The rotation decisions didn't make any sense. We spent a lot of time praising Mike Brown. I agree with you. This one's on the coach and on the effort collectively of the players. I didn't like the minute distribution of the bench. Why is everyone getting like 5, 6, 7 minutes together? Only dudes getting any type of opportunity, getting rhythm on extended minutes and playing with the starters to be able to get into a flow of the game. Everyone else was just iced out. Not just Abaseli, everybody. Diawara, McCullough Jr., Kolek. I didn't be okay with being upset. I'm not going to get upset with the things that I know are going to happen, right? Brunson's going to get hunted. Kolek's going to get hunted.
Right.
Not going to be able to protect the rim. Those things don't piss me off anymore. I've gotten used to them, and I accept them as part of the identity of his team. I get pissed off when Mitchell Robinson's getting cooked, when Mitch is not becoming the offensive rebounder, when he can't defend the rim, when Embiid's embarrassing him, when Paul George is embarrassing him. I'm pissed at Tyler Cole coming in and not being a playmaker and looking for his own shot and trying to hunt to get points on the board. Those type of things piss me off. Those are the things that should not happen, yet they are. Why is OG Anunoby getting lost in rotation? Why is Mikal Bridges still passive offensively? But, man, those things are worth getting pissed off, and I am.
Do you want to respond to any of that, Ryan?
No, I mean, Lee pretty much nailed it on the head. I really don't have anything to say in terms of like, what Lee said. I'll try to like add to it. I didn't get to watch the Spurs or the Hawks game because of, family obligations and things of that nature. So I wasn't able to watch those games. But it does remind me of the Pelicans game because that was the last Knicks game I saw before I watched the Sixers game tonight. And it's the same principles in that Pelicans game that they brought to this game. And I'm assuming it was the same in that Spurs game because I know Champagne, I can't pronounce that dude's last name, but he went off for 11 threes with the Spurs. And I'm assuming it's the same with the Hawks game where the Hawks are blowing out the Knicks as well. And it's guarding the three early in the game, which the Knicks have been not reluctant, but they failed to do in these past few games because in that Pelicans game, they allowed Sadiq Bey to go off for at least like 20-something, I think about 20 points or so in the first quarter of that game. And the Knicks weren't guarding the three as well. They weren't guarding up on their man. And they were allowing him to go off on three. And it was the same thing in this game with Maxey, Edgecombe, and all these guys, that they were not guarding the three and they were giving them space. And when you have shooters like that and they're getting hot and, and they're shooting lights out from three and you're not getting up on, and you're not guarding them at the 3-point line, when you want to turn up later in the game, it's already too late because these guys are in rhythm. They're going to kill you. So you can't allow that to happen at the start of games. So I think Knicks' defensive effort has to be better early in games. They have to come out with more defensive intensity early in games and not allow certain players on the other team to go off on them. And then when they try to pick up their defensive pressure later on in games and try to stop these guys, by then it's too late. They're already in rhythm. So even if you try to contest them, they're gonna knock in some shots, because even one of the shots Maxey hit, I think McBride played excellent defense on him, but he's already hot as hell.
Yeah.
And when he chucked it up with like a few seconds left on the clock and made it, I was like, well, Maxey's already in rhythm. Dude already dropped 30 plus points in the game. So what you expect? And then Maxey on top of that, he's a guy that if he's going, he's nearly impossible to stop. Yeah. And then I think another play that pissed me off in this game, I think, was when Edgecombe was driving to the basket. I think the Knicks turned it over, and they were defending. And I think McBride, Clarkson, and I think Kolek. I think those three were back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're back on defense, and nobody stopped the ball. Like everybody was guarding out of the 3-point line, and they just let Edgecombe just drive straight to the basket and dunk it. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Like, the first principle of fast break defense is stop the damn ball. Why is everybody breaking out to the 3-point line, allowing the dude a straight line to the basket? There's a lot to be pissed off about, and I understand long NBA season, you're going to have ups and downs. Not everything is going to be peachy throughout the whole season, but these last few games, the defensive effort has been terrible, and the team has to find a way to turn it around and get back to that defensive intensity, especially early in games.
Yeah, well said. That play you're talking about, 3 people back, he beats everybody down. That's one of those things where it's like NBA experience. You have Tyler Kolek, who's guarding Edgecombe in a fast break situation. He has an athletic disadvantage, to say the least. He hits him with a crossover. Like, at that point, it's one of those things where you kind of gotta know like where everybody else is on the floor, so you don't get duped like that, because the middle is wide open. You got to kind of force them to where everybody else is if you're going to play for a drive. And I feel like he fell for the fake crossover, and once he crossed Tyler Kolek over, the middle was wide open. There was no help over there. So like, that's one of those things where it's just like IQ on the defensive end in the spur of the moment. He got cooked. He got cooked. As far as the minutes go, because Lee mentioned 5-minute spurts here and there. I feel like Diawara is out of favor right at this point. And I think the Josh Hart treatment, when I say the Josh Hart treatment, I mean when people aren't guarding him from three, I think it's starting to get to him. And I think the coach is seeing it, which is why he only got 2 minutes. Because Diawara came in the game. Embiid he dropped off of him severely. Everybody dropped off to the free throw line. Everybody gave him the 3-pointer at the top of the key. He was pulling those in Atlanta a couple of games ago. Today, he passed up like 2 shots, 2 wide open threes like that. Possibly because he didn't get into the game in the third quarter and didn't feel like shooting a 3 right off the bench. He might want to get a work up a sweat before he put up a shot, but it looks like he's not in 3-point shooting rhythm or confidence like he was a week ago. So that's something to kind of look at. Karl Anthony Towns too. I mean, Mikal Bridges was also freaking. He was frustrating because he was 5 for 14. He couldn't get it going at all. It's like, man, when you're looking for another offensive spark, it's kind of been more OG. OG actually had a decent game offensively. Actually, he turned it around, even though it was kind of like a stop and go. He ended up shooting 60% from 3 and 54% from the field. After being cold from 3, but Mikal, defensively, he hasn't really given us much.
Cut.
Offensively, he's kind of been bad.
Weak.
And it's like, and he played like 36 minutes. So it's just like,
Bum.
It's rough. It's been a rough string for Mikal for the last few games.
Look, man, I'm not saying revoke the trade. Not saying trade him, not saying I wish the trade didn't happen, but all of us celebrated when he was hot to start the season. He was, definitively our backup playmaker, backup point guard, and we were saying F those picks. I'm not saying F those picks right now at all, especially the way that we're drafting and developing. I'm like, damn it, man. Like I get very upset and frustrated with him because, as I said last podcast, Jay, he's a guy we need to be that second option. We either our second option's unavailable, or Karl Anthony Towns is in foul trouble, or he's in a bad mismatch position. His continued passivity and not attacking the basket and relying too much on the mid-range, not being a threat from the 3-point line as he was to start the season, it really slows down and throws off our offense. Because when that cog isn't turning, the rest of the offense has a hard time moving, specifically Karl Anthony Towns, who depends on that gravity to clear out on the strong side when he has the ball. That threat of him behind him or him as a baseline cutter does a lot for his spacing and his angles at getting shots, but also as a playmaker. And when he's not active and they're sagging off of him, bro, you're a net negative on offense and you're getting cooked on defense. What's the point of having you if you can't be a solid point of attack defender? Okay, all right, there's Maxey, unbelievable guard. What about Edstrom? Who are you guarding? Who's your man? Who's the guy that you're coming in as part of one half of Wingstop and stopping? I see a lot on Twitter. Oh, Josh Hart's not here. This shows Josh Hart's worth. Josh Hart was a player that we were saying was to the step back last year as a defender. All of a sudden, turn around this season. I know our defense ain't completely contingent upon Josh Hart, and if it is, that's a problem too. I thought our defense was contingent upon Wingstop and Mitch. And tonight, all 3 of them were net negatives on defense, in my opinion. I saw someone in the chat say that Karl Towns was our best defender. I would probably say Deuce was. Deuce was excellent at the rim. I thought Deuce played great transition defense. And anytime he was switched on to one of the guards, he made their life hell, even though, as Ryan pointed out, they were already in stride. So it's hard to stop them, but he made them take very tough shots. Karl Anthony Towns was fine. I'm okay with him playing bad defense. Anything beyond that is icing on the cake. But I thought Mitchell Robinson got absolutely demolished tonight, embarrassed tonight. Embiid cooked him. He got cooked in pick and roll too by anyone who was the ball handling and driving downhill. He got cooked when he switched. He got cooked in zone. He didn't close out well. He didn't guard at the level. He was very responsible in that first quarter for not guarding at the level. It was a lot of edge threes and Maxey threes because Mitch was dropping back from the perimeter. And I was watching that like, okay, bad on Mitch. Where's Mike Brown calling him out though? Where's the communication? If you don't see the adjustment, that means the adjustment's not being talked about from the coach to the player. So now I'm looking at Mike Brown and whoever that guy on the bench. Listen, we've been, especially me, very complimentary about having a bench coach for every player. But bum-ass guys in charge of our defense right now. Like, I don't know who it is. I can't remember his name, but I'm pissed right now because I'm seeing every schematic effort you're putting out there. Guard up. Keep your man in front of him. All right, switch on ball screens for a little while. All right, drop in the zone. Okay, get and drop. We've seen it work way less often than we've seen it fail. These are simple schemes that our team with 4 or 5 years of continuity should be able to handle by now, and we can't. We're overly dependent on Mitch, overly dependent on OG Anunoby, to where now we're having at the least 2 net negative defenders on the court at all times. That's a lot for these other guys to hold, fortify the line. And Josh Hart's not going to come back and save us. Shamit's not going to come back and save us. This poses a question. What do you do right now, guys? Do you just hope that you have best case scenario on your playoff run, or do you say, damn it, I love Tyler Colwick and what he's doing. Maybe we need Alvarado for the point of attack, right? Like, do you make the trade for another rim protector off the bench to mitigate Mitch's health? I'm not asking these questions. I hope Leon Rose is and his brain. I hope they're having discussions, watching film, and seeing what is the floor and the ceiling for this Knicks defense. Because right now it's looking super suspect. It's Edgecombe I can understand, but Justin Champagne, unacceptable, in my opinion. Sadiq Bey, unacceptable, in my opinion. So what are you going to do? How are you going to address it?
Yeah. And that's why I started off the program. Is like, is this the coach or is this the players? That's why I started off the program like that. Because like you said, Lee, we didn't really make an adjustment to the fourth quarter. So part of that makes me think that was the damn scheme. And I'm like, this can't be the scheme, right? This can't be the scheme to let Maxey take deep threes all game, right? We can't, like, it's crazy. And as far as Mitch, I don't know, was he just out of rhythm because he didn't play? But I was like, man, like, I remember, like, he was just not disciplined when it came to guarding Embiid. And I remember Mitch playing Embiid in the playoffs, shutting him down. I'm doing well, beating him to spots, getting blocks. Like, he fell for every pump fake in the book today.
Yes,
Yeah, everybody has bad games, but it kind of shocked me today because I have seen Mitch be more disciplined than he was tonight. And I think what pissed me off the most about those Embiid pump fakes is that I could maybe understand it if it was Embiid maybe 3-4 years ago,
right?
Where Embiid still had some athleticism and Embiid can still get off the ground and things of that nature. Like, I would more understand it then.
That's what y'all do.
But now you have Embiid who's barely mobile. Why are you jumping up in the air when he's pump faking?
All you gotta do.
All you have to do is lift your hand up in the air. Embiid's not coming off the ground.
Facts.
So why the hell are you pump faking? Why are you falling for pump fakes off Embiid for? Just keep your ground. And that's all you have to do. So that kind of surprised me tonight as to why he's falling for Embiid pump fakes. This is not MVP Embiid anymore. This is Embiid with injuries hindering his mobility. Why the hell are you jumping on pump fakes for?
I agree. I agree. I just this game, I just want to throw this in the trash, man. I really do. I don't like you said, Lee, I don't know the answer. I really don't know the answer here, but we need to figure something out.
I'm concerned, JL. I'm very concerned. And I try my best not to be overreacting for the last year and a half almost, but we cannot navigate strains at an average NBA level. That's a fault of ours. We have very poor point of attack defense. Now, that is specifically something Shamet will definitely help. But we've been talking about the rotation. Most of us have Shamet as a 0.5.
Right.
In a 9.5 man rotation. That's not enough minutes to roll to be a real force to guard point of attack. That means primarily that's going to be Brunson, Bridges, and Deuce. And out of 3, I've only seen one do it consistently.
And even when Deuce was doing it, when it comes to pick and roll defense is not one person.
Right.
I don't care how good Deuce is. If your center is not helping you in pick and roll defense, you're getting cooked. So even when Deuce was out there, hard screen, boom. Where's Cat? Cat's by the foul line. Pull up 3.
That was Mitch tonight too, though. That was Mitch too.
Mitch too as well. But it's like, even if that's Shamet, if that's Deuce, if that's McCullough, if we bring Jose Alvarado, if we trade for Jose Alvarado.
Good point.
And he's like, yeah, now we got it. No, it's our center has to help on pick and roll defense. That's it. Yeah. Schematically, we need to fix it. A trade isn't going to fix it. Schematically, that big has to fix it. The coaching staff has to fix that.
I don't know how.
I'll say this though. Although I do think the Knicks need to weigh their options to see if a trade needs to be made, because that's just due diligence. I think even if you have one of the most complete teams in the NBA, that's what you do. You always try to find ways to make your team better if you can do it without gutting your roster, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, with these collection of players, I've seen them play defense better collectively as a unit. So I'm not concerned to the point where I'm like, yeah, a move has to be made. I think this is something that they can fix in-house, because collectively as a unit, they have played better defense in the past. So I'm hoping that they can get back to the drawing board, see what they're doing wrong and see if they can make any corrections, any adjustments for them to defend better as a unit. But I do agree from the standpoint of, if this continues throughout January, going into February, then that's when I would get a bit more concerned and be like, okay, you know what? A move has to be made. But as a unit, I think they have played better defense than what they've been showing in these past few games. I think it's something that can be fixed schematically in-house without a move having to be made.
May I respond to that?
Sure.
Real quick. I don't 100% disagree with you, but the worry that and true severe concern that I have, again, I'm accounting for Brunson and Cat always mostly being a net negative on defense. They have their flashes, but mostly being a net negative. What I'm worried about right now is, and this has been like for the last month, Mikal Bridges has not been the same defender that he was for the first month of the season. That's what worries me. OG Anunoby has gotten cooked since the Cup. He got cooked against Bay, Champagne. He had moments where he was on him. They had moments he was on De'Aaron Fox, where De'Aaron Fox cooked him. That's concerning, right? Those are the things. It's the defenders you typically depend on. And we're really overly, as I said, we're overly dependent on Wingstop and Mitch. When those three fail, anyone can beat us, any team in the NBA. And that is very worrisome, to be so dependent on three guys. Conversely, it's the same thing on offense. When you're a heliocentric offense and you only have one or two guys who can generate shots, like we had JR and Melo, if that breaks down, who the hell do you go to? On the opposite, on defense, when the two of your best perimeter or interior defenders aren't bringing it, you're going to get cooked by any team.
Right. It's kind of makes me feel like I'm going back to Ryan's first point. Maybe it is a fatigue thing. Why they were like so good in the first half of the game of the season, and now they're kind of wearing down. Maybe it is a fatigue thing where it's like we're kind of waiting for a break to catch their breath to get back to where the level is, or something. Or maybe it is still like the practice thing, like Mike Brown's been saying. Like, we need to actually point out what's happening in practice and run it for muscle memory. So maybe it's that, because like you said, it's hard to scheme for those, and it's like everybody's been bad. Cat's been bad. Brunson has been bad today. Like, everybody was bad. It was bad all across the board. So, and Detroit's coming. We have not lost 4 games in a row in multiple seasons. We've had a couple of 3-game losing streaks before. We had it last season. We had it the season before. So, like, I don't want to. It's concerning. The sky isn't necessarily falling yet. It is concerning because we've had stretches like this before, but we need to pick it up. We need to pick it up.
Can I respond to that too?
Sure, go ahead.
President makes a great point. I'm gonna bring this comment up real quick. I don't know. It's not that I disagree with it. I don't understand it. How can we be fatigued, J. Ellis, when? And I know the minutes have been low on the back end, but like, what did Mike Brown do against Atlanta? 12 deep, 11 deep. How many games have we done on the podcast postgame being like 11 deep for Mike Brown? This would never happen under Tibbs. Like, the kids are playing. Guys, I don't think guys are necessarily being ran to the ground, especially Brunson. Brunson's been getting some pretty good rest from Tyler Kolek. So I don't know. I'm not saying that we're not fatigued. Maybe you're right, but how are we fatigued when he's going deeper into the bench and deeper into rotation than Tom Thibodeau did over 5 seasons? We're playing in a longer rotation. and a more diverse rotation, right? Where guys aren't having to take sole responsibility for high usage offensive output all the time or defensive output, because now we're having McCullough and Diawara in the mix. I don't understand how we can be fatigued when we're playing more guys in more diverse lineups and more diverse offense than we ever have.
I'm going to respond to that because if it was a bunch of regular season games, I would agree. But I feel like the NBA Cup final game, because here's the difference. I think when you play a bunch of regular season games and you're getting a day break in between each game is not that bad. But I feel like when you throw that game in the middle of a season and you're playing for a final and you're playing for a cup, that takes a different type of focus than a regular season game. That takes a different type of energy than a regular season game. And I feel like having that game put right in the middle of the season and then you go all out to win that game. And then on top of that, you don't even get like 2-3 days rest after that to kind of like reset mentally and refocus. Right after that, 1 game rest, next regular season game. So it's not even like, and I feel like that's where things get thrown off a bit. Like, yeah, we're going 11-12 deep, but I think that having that game right smack in the middle of the season, and then you're putting in a different type of effort, a different type of energy to that game, a different type of focus to that game, then you have to just recalibrate immediately to get ready for the regular season games after that. I think that's where there might be a bit of like mental fatigue. And then it carries over because it's like the schedules ain't slowing down for nobody. Like I said, they've only had 1 day break between each game after that. And then they had 2 back-to-backs within that same period. And I think that's where the mental fatigue, and I think that's where some fatigue is coming from that game being smack middle in the season. So I would agree if it's just a bunch of regular season games and I'm like, the team should be fatigued in this and that. But I think because of the NBA Cup final game and it being like a different level compared to those regular season games, I think that's what's throwing off everything. Like I think if the NBA was like, all right, you win that game, we give your team ample time to rest and recover, refocus for the regular season games, give them at least a 2-3 game break, then I'd be like, all right, you're rested, you refocus, you go back to regular season mode. And then if the schedule is like that and they're not getting much breaks in between, then I would fully be on board and be like, yeah, it's definitely not a schedule problem. It's, the team has lost focus and this and that, but it's just because you had an NBA Cup game, then right after that, it's like straight back into regular season schedule. I think that's what's bringing the mental fatigue overall.
That's a good take. I didn't think about that, and I think the reason I think about that is I'm not an athlete, right? So I've never been in that situation. I'm kind of like a nerd. I see it from a different vantage point. So I do respect that point of view. But the Spurs were also in that championship cup game, and they've won 8 out of their last 10. So in that same 3-week span, both teams who were in the same position, having to do the same thing, fighting tough games and have that mental fatigue. One is able to rattle off an 80% win percentage, 100% win percentage, and the other one is 500 or now below 500 maybe with this loss. I'm not 100% sure about that, but just around there. I don't know, man. And I know the Spurs are younger, but damn it, isn't this a team full of vets, guys who know how to get themselves out of the trenches mentally and physically to win good games? I mean,
I mean, what's there? I think another thing to account for is the Spurs aren't they fully healthy without maybe one person?
I think so. Yeah, I think they're pretty healthy.
Yeah, I don't
know. We've had
injuries.
We have Cat Mitch, Josh Hart.
Cassell has been out.
Yeah, Cat Mitch, Josh Hart, Deuce has been out. Shamit's been out for a long time. We had more injuries. I think we had more injuries, and we had to rely more on our young guys, which has been great for us and actually fun for us to watch. Mm-hmm. But they're still kind of in the learning process, so that could be also it as well. They're missing one. We've been missing like 5. Deuce, Mitch, Cat, Josh Hart, Shamit.
But they're back, and we're still losing. Most of the guys are back now, and we're still dropping games. A team that we should be beating. We should have won tonight. Definitely should have won against the Hawks. The Spurs game, I think, is very understandable. Glad we beat the Pelicans, But these last two, man, that we've shown that we didn't have that effort in the fourth. And I saw another stupid stat today where we had the best 3-point shooting percentage, or one of the top 3 best in the fourth quarter. And I'm like, why can't we just be one of the best for 4 quarters? Why is everything in the fourth? Why did we finally turn on in the fourth? And you'd be like, oh, the Lakers used to do that when they were winning the three-peat. That's all fine and dandy, but this team is different. This team is not as athletic. They have a little bit longer in the tooth, and they lack size defensively. We actually compromised defensively overall in the starting lineup. So to me, it's like, I hear you, but I don't think that's an excuse to lose the 2 games that we did the way that we did, allowing either a role player or an entire backcourt to drop a combined 50 or 60 piece on us.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, I think it might be a little bit of everything. Like I said before, schematically, I was pissed off. Schematically, how we played defense, how we played the level in the 3-point line, from top to bottom, I did not like it. I didn't think we adjusted well. The coaching staff didn't make any adjustments to the fourth quarter. I feel like if you wanted to point to one big major flaw of the game plan, that was the major flaw of the big game plan. But then when you look at some other things as well, Mikal Bridges has been a flamethrower from the 3 the entire season, with the exception of the last few games. He's getting the same looks. Like most of them are open except for the one that was blocked in the fourth quarter. Most of those looks have been open. So why are all of a sudden the open looks aren't going down? You know what I'm saying? So that's just some of those things that you're just looking at, like what's happening there. So maybe it's both, maybe it's a little bit of both. I don't know. Whatever the answer is, we need to get it together because Detroit is coming, and we can't lose 4 in a row. 2, I just don't like the thought of giving all these other teams a mental edge, because now what's happening is the 76ers beat us twice. The 76ers also played us on the second night of back-to-backs each time.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Silver, you bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. The second night on back-to-backs each time. Not a game. So it's like they got, whether you feel like, especially the first loss to the 76ers, I was like, to me, that was a schedule loss all the way. All the way. Today, I feel like we had more of a chance, Cat coming back, but we still lost, whatever. I do not want to give the Detroit Pistons any mental fortitude. Oh, we could beat them now because we beat America. We got to shut that joint down now. Too many teams are getting a little bit too happy, and we need to shut that shit down. That's how I see it right now.
Yeah, and I do think that Detroit game will be telling about where this team is at the moment, because you lose 3 straight. You're going against the Detroit Pistons, a team that you may possibly face in the Eastern Conference Finals in the East. And I think that if this team is serious about a championship run, that Detroit game is going to be crucial, because you have to go into that game with the mindset of, okay, we lost 3 games in a row. We have to bring it this game. Like we cannot go 4 games in a row losing, and then on top of that, this is a team that we may face in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. We have to go hard that game. So I think if the Knicks go into that game getting blown out, then I'm gonna really be like, okay, something got to change, because you should not be going in with that effort against the Pistons, a team that you know that you're gonna see in the Eastern Conference Finals, and you lost 3 games in a row. But if I see the Knicks fighting in that game or win that game, then I'm gonna be like, all right, yeah, there's still hope.
That's fair. I remember last game, post-game JLS, we said if Mitch or Cat doesn't play, we're definitely going to lose this game. Both played. We still lost this game.
Yeah.
And the most embarrassing stat is, even though we had that double bid lineup that started the game, we still lost a rebounding edge, 47-44.
Yeah.
WTF, man. What?
Yeah, what the hell, bro?
What the hell? That makes no sense whatsoever, man. Like, that makes me look at Detroit and be like, we haven't lost 4 in a row yet.
Yeah, man. I don't. Is it a Mitch timing thing? Mitch use off too many names or something? I don't know. He was terrible.
He was Yabusele bad. He was terrible.
Yeah, he was bad this game.
He was really bad. That last and one that last and one that Embiid got where Mitch just kind of just fell and hit him from behind.
Bro.
I was like, what? I don't even know what happened there. But
had this dude doing imaginary thrust. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
watching Embiid celebrate is painful.
Man, come on.
It is painful. It's so cheesy. It's so cheesy, but man, like, and that's the other thing too, is like the Knicks, we haven't really gotten blown out. The first kind of blown out game was yesterday for the entire season. I think that's what it really is too. We've been in every game except for maybe kind of two. This game and the one yesterday.
I like that we don't give up. I like that we always fight back. I thought a lot of things went wrong tonight. Tyler Kolek did not come in and steady the offense. He didn't make anyone better. He didn't raise anyone's floor. He wasn't a threat. I thought he was hunting for a shot too much instead of trying to set people up, which has been the difference, right? He comes in and he changes the tone, the cadence of the team and the actions by getting us more in transition, throwing more outlet passes, and finding all the backdoor cutters that, Brunson can do. But when Brunson's in, his job is to score. And I think Cat has really benefited in Bridges from the minutes share with Tyler Kolek. And he came in and he was asked too. So it's like, okay, obviously, again, I made room for him getting cooked by Philly's opposing guards. That's what I expect. I don't expect you to come in and not make your teammates better or be able to hit the open threes that our wheel offense has given you. That, to me, was equally as disappointing as Mitch Robinson getting embarrassed by Joel Embiid.
I gotta watch it back. Because sometimes I feel like I want him to take those shots because of the way they were guarding, because he's like known as a guy who passes. So I feel like you gotta take that layup. You gotta take that three sometimes because they're guarding for that pass. Even there was like one layup where he like completely passed up and gave it to McCall at the top of the key, and McCall bricked it.
Yeah,
and McCall bricked it. So it's like, I feel you. I gotta watch it back.
That's the only highlight I remember, though, where he chose a teammate over his own shot. Is that one?
Right, but it was like I didn't really. Man, I gotta watch it back. Maybe you saw something different. I feel like I didn't see a lot of like clean passing lanes. Like I felt like they were turning us over a lot. One thing I actually felt like I should have seen more Tyler with Brunson. Like I love Deuce, but I feel like Deuce was trying to be like lead guard and have Jalen Brunson play off ball, and it looked bad. Like it looked really bad. I was like, oof. Like he kind of waved off Yabusele to take somebody off the dribble and cause a turnover. I was like, oof.
Yeah.
And then
Grimes was looking for him. Grimes really wanted to get him too. You could tell.
Oh my god, yeah. And then there was like two passes where he just flew into the abyss, and I was like, oof, Deuce is looking rough right now.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, maybe we should go Brunson Kolek. I don't know. Like
Deuce wasn't the only one who had bad reads. I thought Cat had bad reads and OG had bad reads too on passes that led to the turnovers.
Yeah.
OG was I don't understand how a man as big as OG just falls all the time. like looking like trying to make a dribble, and then it looks like every time he tries to dribble, he gets shot. It's not like a regular fall. He's like, and then like gets to the floor, and then he like tries to get over the ball, and the ball rolls out of bounds. It's like always something mad dramatic where he's falling to the floor. I don't understand it. Like you look like you never missed leg day in your life. Yeah, you're always on the floor. I know you. I don't understand. He had four as good as he was shooting today, because he was the guy who was actually trying to like impose his will in the game.
Yes,
he still had 4 turnovers, and that was a big deal
because he can't dribble.
Yeah, I think you know what OG reminds me of, like, when you play pickup games or whatever the case may be, and then when someone has the ball and like they dribble and they lose their dribble, and when they lose their dribble or they take a shot and they miss, they always call like foul. Yeah. And they always like react in some way, like something happened to them, when they dribble the ball or when they miss a shot. I feel like that was OG tonight. I feel like every time OG was about to lose his dribble, he just fell over, like to either try to like sell a call or whatever the case may be, and be like, yo, like, so what? Something happened to me. That's why I lost my dribble or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
OG's handles trash.
I kind of felt like that was. I feel like Cat got fouled the very first play. Like obviously, when he hit the head fake, and then the rookie or the guy on the two-way fouled him while he was in the air. He didn't get that foul, and for 2 quarters straight, he just did ridiculously dumb shit. It's like it took him out of the game mentally, where he was turning the ball over and complaining that was a foul. I was like, no, Cat, that wasn't a foul. That was actually a clean strip. That was also a clean strip, and then it just completely took him out the game for like 2 quarters.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's the one last note that I had is I wrote on my notes, I thought they should have gotten to Cat a little more to run the offense through him in the first half. They started to in the fourth when we made our comeback. We weren't necessarily running the offense through him, but they were finding him on seals in the paint. But I thought I'd say, listen, man, Joel Embiid, all right, he's a handful, pause, on guarding him on defense. Why not flip the script and try to run your offense through Cat and get Embiid in foul trouble and put him in bad situations where now he's either risking his body to fall his fat ass on the floor or he's getting 2-3 early fouls in the first half. But we didn't. And maybe it's to your point because coach saw the mental game and he was like calling other things, other actions for Brunson. We saw a lot of that horns and a lot of that stat stuff that didn't work tonight because once you know it, Philly has twit guards who can navigate screens well. But on our end, it's like Karl-Anthony Towns he's an observer tonight. And it's like, bro, man, park your big ass down there in that pinch post, get position, get stationary, find OG on a cut or find Brunson on that curl to hit a 3. None of that was there. And that was a key component. Jay, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Key component to our offense in the first 2 months.
No, listen, that's why I even led. That was my second statement. The first one was defense. The second one was we should have been spamming pick and roll with Brunson and Cat when Cat is at the 5. Because if Cat is at the 5 and Joel Embiid's big ass can't guard him,
right.
High screen pick and roll. Move those puppies. What can you do? Like involve Embiid in pick and roll for like 5 or 6 straight plays. He's gonna be gassed. He's gonna be like he's tugging his knee. Like he's not gonna have lungs left to play. Like I don't understand why we didn't attack him. He's so slow. And we have the personnel to actually do that. It's like what? I don't know.
Exactly. You attack Embiid on pick and roll for 5, 6 straight plays, and you're gonna be driving past him. He's gonna be falling to the floor like as if he got fouled. So I mean, it's the right way to go. I don't understand it either.
But I don't know. I'm just a fan watching from my couch.
We all are, brother.
I'm just a fan watching from my couch. Maybe they saw something different. I don't know. But that's what I would have done. My simple self. I'm done. I have nothing else to complain about. I've complained. I just hope we get this win on Monday. Do you guys have anything else to add?
Not really for the game, but it's kind of funny you brought that up because I remember watching a game. I think it was about, I want to say 2 to 3 years ago. It was Lakers versus the Clippers. This was before Redick. I think Darvin Ham was coaching the Lakers at the time. And the Lakers did exactly that because I remember that game. The Clippers were up about maybe 10 plus points in the fourth quarter. And the Lakers spammed pick and roll. I can't recall who was involved in pick and roll, but I think it was LeBron and I want to say it's LeBron AD, pick and roll. They spammed it. And the Clippers couldn't do nothing about that pick and roll. And the Lakers just spammed it and spammed it and spammed it. And the Clippers had no adjustments to it. And because they spammed it over and over and over again, that's what made the Lakers win that game. Because they saw the Clippers could not stop it. The Clippers could not make no adjustments. And that's how they won that game. And yeah, like why can't the Knicks do something similar? Like you have Embiid out there. He's slow. He's not as mobile as he used to be. Why not put him in pick and roll situations where he has to move his feet? Or why not give the ball to Cat and force Embiid to guard Cat on the perimeter and have Cat use his speed to get by Embiid and go to the basket? So, yeah, hopefully, they get back to the drawing board and try to fix the defense and try to fix other things. But you know, sometimes when you see something working, or sometimes, you know, you have something in place and the team can't stop it. I'm a firm believer in just doing it over and over again until that team proves that they can stop it.
Like other teams do to us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And Cat did go at Embiid for like 3 or 4 straight plays. Then he settled for the 3, which I'm not even mad at. He shot that 3. See if you got it after you make a couple in a row. I'm not mad at it. But like we just kind of went away from him completely. And I was like, keep going at Embiid. That's the weak point in the defense for sure. All right, yo. That's all I got. Y'all ready for bro picks?
Surprisingly, I do not have a broad pick because my brother has been busy these past few days, so I haven't been able to really get any broad picks. So it's surprising. I ain't got no broad picks tonight.
Okay.
Unless you want to give a broad to Embiid for the imaginary thrust, you know, he did in the game, in the game, you know, trying to celebrate and stuff like.
I can't.
I don't know, unless you want to give dude a broad for that.
I can't see that. No, I got nothing. I mean, you gave a broad pick to Jaylen Brown bitching on the internet about Jalen Brunson.
That's
Jalen Brunson winning freaking player of the month. Oh man, how come I didn't win player of the month?
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
Get your ass.
Really? Like is that you really gonna take to the internet? Just play the game, dog.
Facts.
Play the game. Play the game. People recognize you. Like, okay, you might have a couple of stats that were nice, but it's like we just came off a playoff run, a cup run, better record. Like, you can still win player of the month next month. It's cool. It's not even that big a deal to go to the internet and do that. That's like, I don't understand it. Maybe because he's been number 2 for so long. He wants to get that number 1 shine to prove it himself. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, because like I feel like I don't know, Jalen Brunson is not thinking about nobody but basketball.
Yeah.
Like that just seems really, really high school to go to the Twitter because of that. It's like, just get over it. Get over yourself. Man, that's my bro.
Facts.
This is that one bro pick. My dad right here. Look, man. F Bibi Netanyahu, F Israel, F Trump, F Republicans, F MAGA, F the Democrats. You think Democrats are like pro-Palestine, bro? Democrats are as controlled by Israel as the Republicans are. You gotta be kidding me, man. Also, this ain't the time to criticize Democrats. The Biden era, absolutely dump all over the Dems. Don't you know who's in power? Who controls the House, the Senate, the White House? Who controls the Supreme Court? Who just invaded a foreign country, a sovereign country, arrested their president, and now is taking over their oil as if they're not their own country? Republicans, bro. MAGA.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you voted for my brother. I appreciate your support for the show, but it's a dumbass take. Like, I'm just gonna call it what it is, man. Ultra bro pick. Palestine.
I don't know, man.
My whole thing is, we here talking about basketball. We're not even bringing up politics in any way, shape, or form. And this dude felt the need to write that dumbass comment. Like, I don't understand.
I don't even want to get into the manufactured wars that dude is.
Unbelievable, bro.
Venezuela, shout out to Africa, man.
Iran, Syria,
Nigeria.
Yep.
I already seen, man, small black people. We seen this play before. You know the play. You demonize us, make it seem like we doing something wrong, so you can, so you can brutalize us later. Oh, they're killing all the Christians, no Muslims and Christians. Everybody's getting slaughtered. Yep. It's not just one group of people getting slaughtered. So now you create an enemy so you can bomb the place, so you can rob them of the resources later. It's like the same. It's really the same play that's been run for like years.
It's a Republican playbook, bro. Wreck the economy and bomb a foreign country.
They run it in America.
Facts.
They run into black people, demonize them, criminalize them. So now when they get locked up by police and when we invade them with National Guard, no one bites an eye because we already criminalized them and everybody thinks they're thugs. Oh, Oh, we want to get rid of immigrants? All the immigrants are thugs and pushing drugs. So now we can take away their rights. It's the same fucking play recycled for like hundreds of years. They just keep moving it. Venezuela, Africa. Oh, black people now. Oh, it's Mexicans now. It's the same fucking play. It's annoying. All right.
I wonder how the Latinos for Trump are feeling right now.
Oh man.
I didn't say bro pitch in Espanol.
Oh my god.
I don't vote for Donald Trump.
Talking about voting against your own interests is crazy.
Yo.
Yeah, it's funny. People vote against their own interests all the time because they think they'll be accepted, but they're not going to be accepted.
Not at all.
It's always going to be the okie doke. They're going to think, oh yeah, you can have everything we had just like us, and then they kick you out and demonize you. It's the same fucking play.
Crazy.
Hey, ask the black people. They had the light skins and the black skins. The light skins were the house Negroes. The dark skins was the slave Negroes. And they give you show one group preferential treatment. You treat them a little bit better than the other person, and then you turn on them later.
Yep.
It's the same playbook.
That's the American playbook for sure.
That's the same. That's why black people can see a lot of stuff before it happens, because we know the history and we've seen it happen to us. So when you start to see the certain patterns happen in different people and different races, it's like, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
They actually taught this in African American studies, but guess what? That's African American studies. They don't have those classes in everywhere. So I know the play because I've seen it before in my education, but everybody else is not even required to learn that shit. But that's another story.
Facts.
Get up my soapbox and end this. All right, yo. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. You got me again, Lee.
There's just so much. If we wanted to, every post game, half the post game just be roasting what happened that day. Not even that week, that day. All the dumb bullshit that went on politically in the world. It's unbelievable, man. While all of us are struggling to make ends meet, economy is absolutely wrecked. It's so funny. You say things like that, and they're like, would Kamala Harris be better? What about Joe Biden? What about Hillary's emails? It's like, bro, just as we criticize Republicans, don't mean we're pro-Democrat, right? Don't mean we're out here campaigning for Kamala. Like, we're just criticizing the person in power, and the person in power is yo man, your guy, the one you wore a hat for, the one you put a banner on your house for, the one you have signs in your man cave for. We didn't do that shit. Y'all did.
It is what it is.
Exactly.
Whose man is this? Your man.
Exactly. And the next time somebody wants to complain about Kamala, Biden, Hillary emails, and blah, 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 all you got to do is say Epstein files.
Yo.
Epstein files? What about that? That's all you got to say.
The times are always, Trump is, if you go to YouTube right now, Trump is bragging about seeing naked young girls on Howard Stern. That's on YouTube today.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that clip.
And they're like, they would never. I'm like, that's on YouTube today. Not in the Epstein file. That's hundreds of thousands of views today. Like, it was not rocket science that this dude is I'm sorry. All right. And in the show.
Facts. We're gonna be here for like another hour or two if we do this. Like,
I told you, man. I can't Spider-Man. Put the mask on, Norman. I'm like, I can't help myself.
There was so much going on. I was trying to get away from politics for a long time because it was so much going on. I wanted to have like a little bit of escape because it was too much going on. Like, but it is what it is. It is what it is right now. All right, I'm ending the show finally. Yeah. That is the show. Thank you guys for watching. Lee, let them know they can find you, sir.
On Twitter @_Lee Escobedo, LEEESCOBEDO. My essay on who's going to take over the fates of the NBA. Spoiler, Cooper Flag. Maybe VJ Edstrom. Who knows? My boy's balling. That dropped for The Guardian this week. Check it out. Came out Thursday. And then also I was one of 10 writers asked for a wild New Year's resolution take for The Guardian as well. So I dropped that. That's up and online. And then I have maybe like my favorite piece I've ever written. I've been working for 5 days straight on it while I've had some time off from work, which is how Dallas has become an incubator for NBA talent. Tonight, good case study, right? Tyrese Maxey grew up literally 10 minutes away from me in Garland, Texas. So yeah, there's a lot of them. Cade, obviously, you know, I'm a fan of him too. There's a lot of the guys in the NBA right now: Keontae George, Anthony Black, Ron Holland, that are all balling out. So that should come out in a week and a half. Still doing some line edits on it, but once it does, I think this is the best piece of writing I've done for the Guardian and NBA, and I think I've done some pretty good stuff. So look forward to that.
Nice. All right, keep an eye out for
That's what's up.
Dallas only Escobedo writing about the Dallas Ballers out there. All right, Ryan G, let them know they can find you, sir.
You can find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT. You can also find me on Instagram at Sir G is Chillin'.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIRG is CHILLIN.
All right. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Knick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Knick of Time Show on Facebook as well. Okay. That is our show. Thank you guys for watching, and as always,
shout out to Worldwide Wes. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
it's a mess out here in these Knicks streets. That's the show. We out of here.
Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.